Hi, this is Stephen from ho'oponopono.fyi. Yesterday I wrote an article about how to use ho'oponopono correctly, or it's actually called What is Ho'oponopono Used For? And the day before, and the day before that, and the day before that, I worked on an article which is all about the origins of Ho'oponopono. Origins of Ho'oponopono was a very interesting article to construct. It involved me in lots and lots of different research. However, as I proceeded through the research, a very curious thing happened. As I researched it, I began to undermine my own intuitions about Ho'oponopono. For example, all the research says the Polynesians were the first people to arrive on Hawaii, and that was at about 1000 of the Standard Era. However, my intuition was that the islands had been populated before that time. And so I wrote the article on the basis of the research, and then I did some more research and I discovered that, in fact, there is a very strong story within Ho'oponopono culture about a tribe called the Mu, who lived on the islands before the Polynesians arrived there. And it seems very likely that they are the source of lots of the material that occurs within Ho'oponopono. So I revised the article yet again and added in the question marks about whether or not the story of the Mu are true or not. Well, that's not really what I wanted to talk to you about today. I want to talk to you about the second article, which is what can Ho'oponopono be used for? And what it can be used for, basically, is virtually anything you want it to be used for. But Ho'oponopono is not the law of attraction, and lots of people get confused about these two. The law of the attraction is about like attracting like, and sometimes about opposites attracting. Now, I could go into that in more detail, and perhaps I will in a future video or written article on their website. And it's perfectly possible to attract certain things into your life, not through any kind of magical quality, but simply because if you prepare yourself mentally to do certain things, then you're likely to take the activity and achieve them, unless you've got some sort of blockages in the way that prevent you from doing that. And I'm not talking about political blockages or your boss or any of those kind of things, family members, etc. I'm just talking about mental blockages in your head. Ho'oponopono, on the other hand, is all about clearing out something called karmic data. And karmic data is shared data that you have with other human beings that have been involved in the past, perhaps in this life, perhaps in previous lives, which gets in the way of you seeing yourself as you really, really are. Dr. Hugh Len, who was one of the people that first became popular lecturing about Ho'oponopono in the West, said that when you see other people, you see them as God sees them. He sees people as God sees them. However, the data, the karmic data within them is what speaks. So one way you can think about this is like the sun is shining all the time. That's your kind of divinity. But there is a level of clouds, if you like, which is your karmic data, which puts shadows on the ground, which you see as reality. But the shadows are not reality at all. They're simply shadows. They're simply areas where your divinity doesn't get through. So that's the nature of Ho'oponopono. Now, what I could say to you is this. If you had to choose between these two articles that I wrote, the one that took me 3 days to write and the one that took me a day to write and is much shorter, I would read the second one, because the second one tells you really everything you need to know about Ho'oponopono. The first one gives you lots of information about things that may or may not have happened, and it's kind of really fascinating, and if you're into that kind of thing, you'll enjoy it. But the second one tells you what to do. So if you're beginning, go to the second one. Don't go to the first one, because the second one is the one that's going to help you most. I'm going to leave a link to both articles in the description of this video below, and that's all I'm going to say today. But I'm hoping to make some more videos about Ho'oponopono, which will all go on this channel, and hopefully they will clarify a few pieces of essential information that you need if you're going to practice in this way. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.